Of course, you should never invest in something just because somebody else is investing it, or you should never just copy somebody else's investments blindly or anything like that. But when you already have a strong conviction in an idea or in an investment, and other people in the community happen to really believe in that as well, and especially when it happens to be people that you really, really respect in the community, that is always a great feeling. I am Germ, a CS2 cash trader, collector, and investor. In this video today, I'm going to be talking about why I believe in patches and their future price appreciation so much, and why there's a couple other people in the community that really believe in them as well, and what they've been saying about patches. But first, just want to mention a word from today's sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by SkinPlace, an awesome site where you can turn your skins into money instantly and easily right now. All you got to do is click on the first link in the description below, then go to the site and sign in using your Steam account. You're then going to click on the skins that you want to sell, then go over to their payment method options like site balance, cryptocurrencies, or PayPal, whatever method floats your boat, and then you're going to have an option to enter a promo code. If you use promo code GERM, you can actually get a 3% bonus on your first sale, so definitely go take advantage of that right now. Then click on receive money, go to the next step, and then they're going to send you a trade offer that you just need to accept and confirm on your Steam, and then your money's going to get sent to you a couple minutes later. It's that simple. It's that easy. Thank you to SkinPlace for sponsoring this video. So when I was scrolling through Twitter the other day, I came across this tweet from Bob Calvary talking about patches. New video out on his channel. It's the first of new content he's trying to make, whatever, but he talks about why you should invest in patches, even going as far to say and calling them in the title, here's why patches might be the next Cato 14. Now, to me, that is obviously kind of like a clickbait, sensationalized title, but it's super funny because it's something that I have even memed about previously. Now, I do not personally think patches are going to get to Cato 14 level or anything like that, but I do believe that patches have some similarities with Cato 14s and could have that kind of parabolic or exponential growth in the future. And I think there's a couple similarities that we can really point to each other. Again, nothing will ever be the next Cato 14s, but I do think there are some reasons why patches have a chance to be more like Cato 14s than any other item like in the modern CS2 investing world. Again, in this modern CS2 investing world, so many things are overinvested, so many things are just kind of oversupplied because of just how big the player base is, and whenever we get new items created or dropped or whatever, they get dropped in such big numbers because there's, you know, millions of people that play Counter-Strike now. And when Cato 14 came out, there was like tens of thousands of players. You know, it wasn't even possible to get the amount of items created back then that there are now. So you need a special mix of different things going on to even have the qualities of a Cato 14. But I just did think that this was very, very cool to see Bob Calvary even saying that something like this could be possible, and why he's so excited for the future of patches as well. Because as you guys know, I've been investing a ton in patches recently. I've been very, very excited about them. They're one of my top 3 investment choices right now that I talk about in videos all the time. Again, that being rare cases, patches, especially Riptide patches, and then bordered stickers from old bordered collections, stuff like Cato 15, DreamHack 14, stuff like that. So, some of Bob's points in his video, and again, you guys should go check out Bob Calvary's YouTube. He has 121 subs right now because he's only posted like 3 videos or something like that. He just recently started up this YouTube channel, but I watched this video, I dropped a like on it. I've been enjoying all of his content. He's been doing a lot of cool stuff. But what he says in this video is, one, people are very much hating on patches in general. Patches do have a lot of haters. Now, one reason that patches have a lot of haters, I've talked about this before, is people just say that they're overvalued, which is fine, but what is value even in Counter-Strike? You know, when you try to value something like a stock, like a company, it's because a company makes X amount of money. You know, you think they might make more money in the future, but you think that should be worth X, Y, or Z or whatever. But how do we value Counter-Strike items? How do you say how much, you know, like right here, how do you say how much those bronze morph gloves are? Some people that's worth $100, some people it's worth $1,000, some people 10,000, you know, whatever. At the end of the day, these items are only going to be worth what people will pay for them. And again, it's really just supply and demand at the end of the day. And the more rare or unique or iconic, the lower the supply something's going to have, or just the more hype and demand or whatever is going to increase the price. And a lot of people say these things are overpriced because nobody really cares about patches. They're a niche item. They don't have big demand. But also at the same time, we have to remember is that these patches have very, very low quantities and low supplies. They're is not, you know, so many of these Operation Riptide patches out there. They're not an item that's actively dropping, and, you know, they weren't a heavily invested into item at the time when Operation Riptide was a thing. And that's why they even have so much value today. And again, also the demand for them is increasing. We've already seen recently stuff like agents really starting to boom in prices. And guess what? As agents get more popular and as they start to get featured more in the game and stuff like that, prices of patches are going to continue to go up, but also patches are, especially Operation Riptide patches, are already so rare, they're only becoming more rare over time because people are crafting with them. There are also items are getting lost to inventories and lost to bans and stuff like that, and also people are just locking them away as long-term holds and long-term investments. Obviously, a lot of people do also say that, you know, patches, you can hardly even see them or notice them in the game or whatever, but also already from CSGO to CS2, agents are starting to get featured in more and more ways. Patches are starting to become more and more visible, and I think that agent kind of the push for agents is only going to heighten as we get farther into CS2. I think Valve is going to release more agents. They're going to want agents to be more featured so they can sell them and more stuff like that. But also, I know there has been a lot of speculation and stuff about something like patch customization coming out in the future. Like right now, how you can make sticker crafts and you can make like 5x sticker crafts. You can move the stickers all around. There is some speculation about something like that coming out for agents at some point in the future. Maybe you might be able to move the patches around, rotate them, and maybe even make more than 3 patches on agents, which would be crazy. And again, these numbers are going to keep going down. But also, another big thing and good thing for patches going forward in the future is if we do get a new operation, yes, we're going to get some new patches, which will increase the competition for the existing patches, but I would argue the Operation Riptide patches are always going to be so iconic and unique and rare and all that stuff. But new agents is going to increase crafting. There's going to be so many people out there that want to have the first ever bayonet frog crafted onto this cool new agent or this whatever new agent, whatever. Somebody's going to want to have the new 3x crafts on all these agents, and that is going to increase the prices going forward in the future. But yeah, but again, there are a lot of naysayers and haters to have patches and everything like that. Again, I think the price thing is really hard to argue because who knows exactly what something should be worth. But also, guess what? If we go and look at you know, the all-time graph for a bayonet frog, people would have said the bayonet frog was overpriced at right here at $8. People were saying the bayonet frog was overpriced here at $25. People were saying bayonet frog was overpriced here at $150. And hey, I wasn't around for all these times in CS2 investing, so I'm just kind of guessing at that. But I was around for these times in 2023, and I know that people were saying the bayonet frog was overpriced once it hit $100. I know people were saying bayonet frog was overpriced when it hit 200, 300. I know for sure they were overpriced, saying it was overpriced when it hit 400, 500. And guess what? This thing has hit all-time highs of upwards of close to $900 and currently sits at about a market price of 750, 600, 650, somewhere in there. Obviously, on third-party marketplace, it's going to be a little bit cheaper. But people saying that it's overpriced or it can't go up anymore or whatever, that doesn't mean anything because people have always been saying that. But also, if you look back to the past of Counter-Strike items, guess what? Cattle 14 stickers were seen as like valueless or very, very cheap or inexpensive items at some point. People also really underrated the value and profitability potential of knives back in the day. People also hated gloves at one point. People also hated agents at one point. Like people saying that an item is overrated or that patches are stupid, nobody's ever gonna care about patches or whatever, doesn't matter. That's been the history of every CS2 item. People hate on stuff and don't think it's cool and are naysayers until it becomes cool and valuable, and then all of a sudden they love it. You know, so many people that love gloves now are the same people that hated gloves 5 years ago. So many people that hated agents 2 years ago are the people that love agents now. And as soon as something becomes cool, then everyone starts to, you know, hype them up and whatever. And already, like I said, we've seen patches getting cooler. There are more and more people who are crafting patches and buying patches that would have never done so 2 or 3 years ago. Part of it is because the price appreciation, but part of it is they also, you know, start to see other people and communities building around patches and agents and all that stuff. So I just thought this was very interesting and very cool that, you know, Bob was saying about how, you know, there are some opportunities here for patches to have some really nice price appreciation going forward in the future. And yeah, there's obviously Operation Riptide has very, very rare patches. There are low supplies. There is increasing demand. They're only going to get more rare. They're only going to get more old. Another thing you have to keep in mind is that Operation Riptide came out less than 3 years ago. And again, Cattle 14 was now 10 going on 11 years ago. So this is just what Operation Riptide patches have done in just 3 years. Imagine what these patches are going to be like 7 years from now. Again, this is what the Bayonet Frog has become in just 3 years. What is the Bayonet Frog? What is the supply of Bayonet Frogs going to be 7 years from now? And where is the price of Bayonet Frogs going to be 7 years from now? Again, I would bet that it's going to be a lot higher than it is right now. But again, even if you think the Bayonet Frog is overrated or overhyped, overpriced, whatever, there's so many cool options and good patches out there. Dead Men patch being one of my favorite. Sunset Wave, I think, is an absolutely beautiful patch and looks really, really great on some agents. Abandoned Hope, a lot of people say, looks good on some like agents with black and red and stuff going on. You have Aquatic Offensive, I think, is a very, very cool one. You also have the skill group patches. I think Silver Metal is really funny because it's always going to be funny just to have a big giant silver patch on your agent. Metal Silver Demon is another very, very cool one. But then you also even have the Stockholm patches, which also come with patch packs, which are obviously being opened, and the supply on those is constantly decreasing. So those have some fundamentals and ways that they can be going up in price. I don't know. I thought this was very, very cool. I love to see this tweet and video idea from Bob. I love to see people that I respect in the CS2 community also feeling the same sentiments and ways, but it also just made me feel a little bit better and a little bit more confident about my CS2 investment, and just understanding that, yes, there are naysayers right now, but I don't care because I really think the prices and the money and the profit over the next like 2 to 3 to 5 years is going to speak for itself. And yeah, hey, some patches I've made money on so far, some patches I've lost a little bit of money on, but guess what? It doesn't matter because I'm holding these things for the long term. And do I think patches are going to be the next Cat 14? No, but I think they're going to make a lot more money than a lot of people expect. And again, one of the reasons Cat 14s have gone so crazy is because people didn't believe in them, and then people, love them now, but also because they had such low supply and quantities. And, so many items right now have such massively disgusting, huge supplies like Paris and Copenhagen and stuff like that. But guess what? Riptide patches don't have that. Riptide patches actually have a supply that is small and only getting smaller day by day. So it actually gives it some chance to increase in price and value going forward in the future, especially if patches start to become cooler, agent customization and patch applications start to increase. We'll have to wait and see from here. But again, I already think patches and agents are already on a huge, huge, huge upswing, and I think that leaves a very bright future ahead. But yeah, I thought it was hilarious that Bob Calvary said this, that going as far as saying they might be the next Cat 14. I would say they're maybe the modern version of Cat 14s. Again, nothing will ever be Cat 14s, but they might be the Cat 14s of CS2. But we'll have to wait and see. But either way, I think they're going to be a great investment going forward in the future. And I'm going to keep trying to get my hand on any patches that I can, and would maybe recommend you do the same. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.